an all-new series here on Portland Media Center, Channel 5. The name of the game, it's a dating game. We've got 3 bachelors right here. Our bachelorette doesn't know who they are. They're hanging out. They are here to compete for true love with our mystery bachelorette. Now, our bachelorette, who's behind our set, who will be out here in just a few seconds, will be asking our bachelors a series of questions to decide who she might want to take on a dream date of her choosing, sponsored by Portland Media Center and Channel 5. Yes! Yes! All right, without further ado, let's introduce our bachelors. Bachelor number one, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Achilles, and I'm a karaoke superstar.
All right, a karaoke superstar. Bachelor number 2, tell us something interesting about you.
I am originally from Washington, D.C., and I moved to Portland 3 years ago.
All right, and bachelor number 3, what's something interesting about you?
My name is Rob Barnes. I love the outdoors. I'm an avid fisherman and hunter, and I just enjoy having fun.
All right, enjoying having fun. Don't we all enjoy having fun? Let's get the fun moving, because let's bring out our bachelorette. Bachelorette, come on out here. Yes, yes, amazing, yes, yes, have a seat, have a seat. Bachelorette, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fabulous.
Awesome, so you came down here, you came down to the studio. Are you ready to have an absolute blast?
Yes, I'm excited.
All right, that's amazing. All right, bachelors, you've heard her, but you don't see her. Introduce yourselves again to our bachelorette. Bachelor number 1.
Hello.
Just hello? Anything more than that to hear from to tell your prospective love of your life? Just hello? Oh, wow. Well, I guess we're already blowing it with Bachelor 1. What are we thinking? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Bachelor number 2, introduce yourselves to our bachelorette.
Well, hi there. My name is Constantine. I moved to Portland 3 years ago. It's been fun getting to know this city, and I hope to get to know you as well.
Ooh, what do you think of Bachelor number 2?
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Are you from Portland originally?
South Portland, yeah.
South Portland, all right. Born native from Maine. Bachelor number 3, what's something interesting about you?
Well, I do like the outdoors. I like to go and explore the coast of Maine. And you sound like you have a very young and attractive voice. You sound like you're a fun person to hang out with. And I look forward to getting to know you.
You got me steamy on that one.
Let's settle down. What do you think of Bachelor number 3?
You got me steamy.
You got me steamy, all right. Well, now that our bachelors have introduced themselves to you, our bachelorette, we're going to give you a second to think over some questions that you might have for our bachelors. But right now, we will be right back after these messages. Stay with us.
This ad break brought to you by space. We all know it's up there.
And welcome back to Date Night on PMC. I'm here with our bachelorette, our mystery bachelorette, with our mystery bachelors. They are mysteries to each other. Bachelorette, do you have some questions for our prospective bachelors?
I do.
All right, ask away.
All right, so the first question is, if our date was a movie genre, what would it be and why?
And which bachelor are you directing this question towards?
Let's do number 2.
Number 2.
It would be a romantic comedy adventure, because romance should be adventurous and romantic.
Ooh. What do you think of that? Huh?
I like it.
You like that? All right. What's your next question?
Okay, for number 3, share a quirky talent or skill you have that can make our extra date extra memorable.
Ooh.
Well, I'm a pretty good juggler, so I can juggle fancy things around in front of us and have a good time. I make jokes all the time. I'm a pretty funny person, so
A comedian.
can make you laugh.
What do you think of Bachelor number 3?
Juggling, comedians, they could be a red flag.
Red
because they
flag.
make every woman laugh.
Whoa.
So, we'll see.
All right, Bachelorette, what's your next question?
All right. For number 1, share a funny or embarrassing dating story from your past.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Well, once on a first date with somebody, I forgot her name. And I had to just make one up.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. So you had so many side pieces you couldn't pick which one.
Whoa!
I don't like that.
One. What's your response to that? Shock! Pure shock! Whoa. All right. Well, we will have more questions from our Bachelorette right after these messages.
Watch Ask Christina Anything After Dark, directly after game night tonight.
And welcome back to Date Night, an all-new series right here on Portland Media Center, Channel 5. I'm here with our mystery Bachelorette and our mystery Bachelors. Neither of them have seen each other, but our Bachelorette is asking a series of questions to identify her dream man. All right, Bachelorette, do you have some more questions to ask our bachelors?
I do.
All right.
For number 3,
Bachelor number 3.
if you could have any celebrity join us on a date, who would it be and why?
I would have to say Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
And his commentary, I think, would be exponential to the date.
Are you attracted to him?
No, not really, not in any way. But if I were to pick an attractive person to bring on a date, I would probably pick Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, so he likes blonde.
He likes blonde.
That's a huge red flag.
That's a red flag, is it?
I'm more of a redhead person, actually.
More of a redhead person.
Redhead, even more of a red flag.
Well, isn't it a red flag that he's bringing another woman on a date?
You're right.
I tried to bring a man.
He tried to bring a man. Is he attracted to men or women?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Bachelorette, what is your next question?
All right. This is honestly for all of you guys. I have a huge question. Out of everything that you ever did, what's the most psychotic thing you've ever done?
All right, let's start with Bachelor number 1.
Psychotic.
Because I love crazy men.
I once punched a young man right in his face.
That's hot.
Psychotic thing I've ever done.
That's very hot. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Bachelor number 2.
I once got punched in the face in St. Louis. That was a pretty psychotic experience.
Was it by Bachelor number 1? Joking.
So you don't know how to defend yourself.
Oh.
I was sucker punched. I was sucker punched on the street. So.
I like a man who's masculine.
Okay.
That doesn't give me masculinity.
All right, Bachelor number 3.
I feel like you're gonna like this. I was arrested 3 times in 1 week.
Ooh, that's extra hot. I like that.
Whoa, what were the crimes?
Disorderly conduct, things like that in public.
Things like that.
Ooh, I like it.
You like that? All right. All right, Bachelorette, what are some more questions you have for our prospective bachelors?
Okay. For number 3, describe your dream vacation destination and what activities would you do there?
A dream vacation, I think it depends a little bit on mindset and time of year. This time of year, I'd like to go down to the islands and basically just sit on the beach and drink Corona, to be honest with you. But in the summertime in Maine, I wouldn't mind traveling to Alaska and doing some fly fishing.
What are your thoughts on that?
Fly fishing,
Not a fan?
not a fan. Beer,
Big fan.
Big fan.
All right. With that, we will be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
This ad brought to you by kangaroos. Are they a horse? Are they a dog? Are they both?
And welcome back to Date Night here on PMC Channel 5. I'm with my Bachelorette and my 3 prospective bachelors. All right, Bachelorette, during the break, you told our producers that you wanted to ask some of your favorite questions to bachelors you hadn't asked them to. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, ask away.
All right. Number 1. If our date was a movie genre, what would it be and why?
Ooh.
It would be something with Muppets, because isn't that fun?
Muppets! Are you a fan of Muppets?
It's giving childlike.
Giving childlike, yeah. Not a fan?
It's giving living with mom still.
Ooh. Bachelor number 1. Whoa. Are you still living with mom?
Never.
Is he telling the truth? What do we think?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think Bachelor number 1 is still living with mom? Okay. All right. What's your next question?
All right. Number 3. Share an embarrassing dating moment.
Well, let's see. I'm not sure if this would be okay for on TV, but I
Please,
have a woman sit
share
on
away.
my lap that I did get a little too excited about at one time, and she asked me what that was.
Whoa! That might be a little too risque for television.
I think she got confused. It was the toothpick poking at you.
Any follow-up for Bachelor number 3? Or Bachelor number 3, any response?
I mean, I love that she's also a comedian.
Oh! 2 comedians in the house here. All right. Bachelorette, what's your next question?
For number 1, if you could have any celebrity join us for a date, who would it be and why?
Ooh.
It would have to be Brad Pitt, because I'm not afraid of competition.
Brad Pitt. What do you think of Brad Pitt?
So you're comparing Brad Pitt to you.
Ooh. Bachelor number 1, would you consider yourself on par with Brad Pitt?
Far and away.
Whoa, all right, okay. What do you have to say to that?
Can't wait to see you.
All right. All right, when we come back, our Bachelorette is gonna have her choice for who she wants to take on a dream date. Sponsored by Portland Media Center and Channel 5. Stay with us.
This ad break sponsored by Cakes and Coffee.
All right, welcome back to Date Night here on PMC Channel 5. Now, during the break, our Bachelorette, you, talked with our producers and told us who you were leaning towards. Now, I want you to go around and just tell me a little bit about each of the bachelors and how you felt about them, without revealing who you chose.
So, number 1, I think he was very interesting, more of like a feminine vibe.
Feminine vibe, okay.
Number 2, adventurous, and I like that.
Adventurous.
Number 3, very masculine for sure. Yeah! Very funny.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Bachelorette, who did you pick? Was it number 1? Was it number 2? Or was it number 3? Audience, let's hype her up! Which one did you choose?
Number 3.
Number 3! Whoa! This is outrageous! This is crazy! Oh my God! Oh my God. Well, Bachelorette, who I'm now going to refer to by your real name, Alexa. Alexa, all right, let's go ahead and meet our two bachelors, Bachelor 1 and 2, you didn't choose. Bachelor number 1, AKA Achilles, come on out here, man. Yes. Oh, look at this. It wasn't meant to be, but maybe he'll get his chance next episode. All right, now Bachelor number 2, Constantine, come on out here, man.
Oh, I love the glasses again.
I guess it wasn't meant to be, but hey, maybe next episode. All right, and now let's meet who you chose. Bachelor number 3, AKA Robert. This is amazing. This is what we live for. This is true television right here. All right, Alexa, how you feeling about Bachelor number 3? How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Well, Alexa, Robert, you guys win free pizza at Whole Foods, sponsored by Channel 5 Portland Media Center. That's right, baby. Stay tuned next week for more date night right here, same time, same episode. Stick around. And welcome back to Channel 5. I'm Warren Edgar, and right now we're trying a new segment called Ask Christina Anything. Next to me, sitting with me, is the wonderful, lovely Christina LaBelle. Christina, how are you doing tonight?
I am fantastic. I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. So now you have 8 years worth of professionalism in the intimacy industry. Is that correct?
That is true. Approaching that 8-year anniversary.
Awesome. And you're looking to break down the stigmatism around intimacy and discussing that and talking about that, right?
Absolutely. I think after numerous years of public curiosity, I think it's time to kind of spearhead it and help people understand what this industry really is and that more people than you know participate in it.
That's awesome. So we have some questions that viewers like you have asked. Are you ready to answer some questions from our viewers?
Let's dive right in, Warren.
Awesome. So let's begin. So Lucas D. from Augusta asks, how can men express emotional support to their partners in times of stress or difficulty?
Well, I think that's a twofold question. I think when we have a partner that's going through something or might be more stressed, we need to be mindful of that we all process things differently, and sometimes just stepping back and giving a moment of space first, that initial moment of reaction. I think that can be a huge part in how you get through those cold weather days and make it through.
So next question, ONC from Bangor asks, what are some healthy ways for men to address and overcome performance anxiety in intimate situations?
You know, laughter, I think that can be the best medicine sometimes. Just not being hard on ourselves. We're not always going to perform at 100%, including in those intimate moments where you want to be prideful and provide somebody with a wonderful experience. But sometimes just stepping back and being human can provide a moment where new excitement and new intimacy can spark where shame or fear may have existed previously.
So breaking down those boundaries by laughing about them almost.
Yeah, just, you know, being human. We can't always perform at 100% in any arena. So just acknowledging that and not trying to shy away from it, because I think that's going to create more curiosity or confusion.
All right, next question. Ben C. from Portland asks, how can men navigate and balance between personal space and intimacy in a relationship?
Just, you know, it really goes back to that key of communication and sharing how one processes and needs space. I think that having our own individual identity is so important. So you're not always going to be with somebody every day, 365, and understanding that and then growing your own skills and abilities within your own time frame to grow as a person and be independent. That way you can come together and be intimate and have those shared experiences as well.
Sam C. from Lewiston asks, what advice do you have for men on fostering emotional connections outside of physical intimacy?
I think it gets into that spiritual side of you of making a connection on a deeper level. You know, almost anybody can take somebody's clothes off, but what really connects to somebody's soul? Do you really know what makes them tick, what their passions are, what their hesitations are? Do you know how to create that support system through all bridges, not just intimacy?
All right, our final question from the questions from the men. Elijah F. from Bar Harbor asks, how can men contribute to creating more inclusive and equal partnerships in a relationship?
I think that stepping up and just taking ownership sometimes of what is deemed female responsibilities. I think so much falls on a female in this society in the modern day age that they're responsible for just because of our genetic makeup or because we're perceived to be more caring or more those traditional roles of a female, and a man should step up and clean the house and to do the chores and not feel like he has to do it because that's what is going to make it successful. It's because that's what you want to do for your partner. You want to take the burden off, and you want to be there in different ways that sometimes we have to really push ourselves to, but just be that equalness for that partner.
Well, that's really awesome. So when we return, we'll be back with Christina LaBelle with a little more questions, this time from women. Stay with us.
This ad break brought to you by Bros. You gotta love 'em.
And welcome back to Ask Christina Anything. I'm your host, Warren Hedger, and I'm back here with the wonderful, lovely Christina LaBelle. Are you ready to answer some questions from our female viewers like yourselves who have sent in?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Starting off with Maya B. from Auburn. She asks, how can women encourage open communication about intimacy without judgment or shame?
I think that just being forthright and speaking to their experiences. I think when people own what they've been through, that helps other people see that they're not alone, and it helps destigmatize it just because we're open and we're talking about it. I think we all have much more in common than differences, and sometimes it just takes being brave to share your experiences.
All right. Our next question, Abigail T. from Camden. How can women support their partners in opening up emotionally and expressing vulnerability?
I think a little bit of follow the leader. I think women are really good about sharing their experiences and emotions. And I think when you create that safe haven, that anytime your partner shares, that you don't shy away or shame, you want to acknowledge and be proud of them for being open, and you want to create that space that they feel they can tell you anything and you're going to support and be there and be intrigued, ask questions, have healthy conversation, and not just make assumptions. That's been one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life and in dating and intimacy moments is I all the time think I know the outcome of somebody's answer, and sometimes I won't even ask the question, and when I do ask the question, I find I'm wrong.
All right, our next question, Amelia N. from Brunswick asks, what advice do you have for women navigating societal expectations around body image and intimacy?
Well, I think so much pressure has been placed on women, and just be individual, be yourself. Don't feel like you have to fall in line with the person in front of you. I think my early teens and early 20s, I fell into the imposter syndrome that most of society does. You want to not go against the grain, and in the later 20s and early 30s of my life, I've gone against the grain, and that's when I've had the most successful, most fun, most genuine and authentic experiences of my life. And it's scary sometimes putting yourself out there, but that's when you find your tribe and you build your people and you build your support system in a way that you'll have new experiences you couldn't have dreamed of at one point because you let yourself go and you found that community that's going to raise you up.
And then, when I first read this question, something that came to mind with me is, do you feel that pornography has really changed people's perceptions in a negative way, in a positive way, of what they feel that intimacy should be or how it should look like?
I think that there is definite science behind this as well, that it's not just changed our perceptions, but also biological makeup. There's been a great study done that in the early 70s and early 80s, young boys are going through puberty from 16 to 18, a little bit later. And now in modern day society, boys are going through puberty to 10 to 12 years old. So that changes the whole biological makeup, as well as that it does. I mean, you have this false narrative of what romance or what sex is, and the exploitation of it side, I don't think any of us even know, even though pretty much all of us are consumers or enjoy it to one degree or the other. We don't even know the true ramifications that it's happening, but I think we can all speak to its change the culture's view of sex and relationships. And I know for myself, I feel like it's impacted me negatively in different relationships and experiences. So it's, I think it has for sure. And we don't even know the full ramifications yet.
That's a really good point. We don't. All right. Well, when we return, we'll have more with Christina LaBelle with some more questions. Stay with us.
This ad is brought to you by pollution. It's the one thing we can all agree is bad.
And we're back right here on Ask Christina Anything. I'm back with Christina LaBelle. How you doing?
Great.
How you doing? so far? You like the questions?
I do. It's so great to see what people in our community are thinking and what they're wondering.
That's right. All right, now let's get into some questions asked by both genders from viewers like yourselves. Let's start with Alex T. from Meadow Springs. He asks, in what ways can couples prioritize quality time for emotional connection in their busy lives?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to planning a moment or a time each week that you know is going to be yours. And it doesn't even have to be a set day. It can just be a set evening schedule. Like, I know I'm a love language of touch, so I love to touch my partner and I love to massage, and that's kind of set aside almost every night that I'm going to massage you one night, you're going to massage me the next, and we're going to connect and have that emotional time that it's not necessarily on the schedule, but we both know at some point in our 24-hour day that is going to come together, and we're going to have that hour to 2 hours of time that's just us talking, relating, and being intimate in a way that doesn't necessarily involve sex.
Yeah, just creating schedules that the two of you can sit down and do a shared activity with.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that moment in time. Some people might share a coffee every day that they know they're going to experience, and some people might every day go for a walk together, just carving out something that you know you'll share in each day.
All right, next question from Riley P. from Harper Grove. He asks, how can individuals balance the need for personal growth and the demands of a committed relationship?
I think that when you first meet your partner, there should be some really open conversations. Like, I like to talk about credit scores a couple dates in, because it's like, well, that tells me a general background of kind of who you are and where you might be going, or what are your big goals? Because I know for myself, I have lofty ambition, and that requires somebody that's okay with me not always being around. So you kind of have to figure out those big, tough questions at the beginning of, does this person foster and support my ambition and my growth, and what that life pattern might look like? So those are some big things that should be determined pretty quick, because if you were off to be an astronaut and you have somebody that doesn't want you to be gone for 9 months, well, that's a problem. So, kind of figuring out those big life dynamics right away can help hinder or break, something that could have been great.
Well, I would also say, you should find, if you have those lofty goals, you should find someone who not only will help you there, but support you. Who will go, I'm going to support you in doing this, and someone who's just going to say, oh, I'll let him do this, or I'll let them do this. Someone who's actually going to get behind you and support you in those endeavors. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. What does support look like for that partner? How does supporting Warren through his next goals, through his next career move look like for Christina? And is that in line with what I want in a relationship and what we inevitably want at the end of the day? So,
well, that's if we get into a relationship. All right. We have time for one last question here from Morgan M. from Brookside Bay. What role does forgiveness play in healing and strengthening a relationship after conflicts?
I think it's important. It's not always going to come instantaneously for people. We all process things and experiences differently, but I think it's respect at the end of the day. I might go to bed not completely thrilled with my partner, but I'm not going to go to bed stone cold, and I'm not going to tell them that I love them before I fall asleep, because at the end of the day, one of us might not wake up. So why go to bed angry? You can take time to process things and still respect your partner, still share space, still cut out time for them, and still be there for them while processing what you're getting through together as a couple.
That's really well said. All right, well, we're just out of time here, Christina, but thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for answering the questions that our viewers had. All right, now we will have more episodes of Ask Christina Anything later on, and you can send in your questions to be asked and answered by our wonderful Christina LaBelle by emailing AskChristinaAnythingPMC@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.